Today, I'm going to talk about AI in the form of an NFT that you can personally own and train. As our world becomes increasingly digitized, AI is playing a bigger role in shaping the way we think, behave, and solve problems. The impact AI will have on the world in the near future is profound, while most people don't know what it does or how it works. It's crucial that everyday people gain an understanding of AI, and even more critical that communities have ownership of it. This will help them understand the positive benefits as well as the risks, and have a say in how it impacts their lives. I think AI is the most disruptive technology humanity has faced so far, and what it will bring us will happen faster than anything has done before. Let's take ChatGPT as an example. The popular chatbot from OpenAI is estimated to have reached 100 million monthly active users in January, just 2 months after launch, making it the fastest growing consumer application in history. Although most of us have not actively been aware of it, we are already surrounded and communicate frequently with AI-based systems without even being aware of it. AI is data-driven, so think of all places that collect data and how that data is going to be used. Facebook, Twitter, and Google are 3 of the examples that first come to mind. However, we all interact with AI in many other forms when we are totally unaware of it. Oftentimes it's used to influence you and or predict your or group behavior. That's why it's so important that the AI used by the altered state machine is owned by the holder of the brain, and the brain itself is an NFT. The ASM brain. ASM brains are unique artificial intelligence owned via NFTs. It provides the world's first open infrastructure for any individual to provably own, build, and govern their own AI. This individually ownable AI is called non-fungible intelligence. Each brain has a unique DNA, known as the Genome matrix, with inherent strengths and weaknesses. ASM seeks to improve the understanding and usage of AI by taking consumers on a content and game-driven journey. Through this, they'll gain an understanding of how it works, how they can interact with it, then how they can own and apply it in their lives. With a greater understanding amongst everyday people, society can make better governance decisions about AI. Think of the ASM brains just like our brains. We have some natural skills and abilities that we can either develop or neglect. Just like humans, the influence of their experiences, the impact and interaction with their surroundings will have an effect on their characteristics and the development of their talents. Let's take a closer look at the Genome matrix so we can get a clear picture of what this looks like. To do so, we go and visit the Prawns XYZ website, which is a community-driven project and central point of information from all corners of Fluff World and the Futureverse Ecosystem. When we are on the website, we go to the top right corner of the home page where we select the link that says Resources. We now get to see a roll-down menu in which we select the link that says Brain Mapping. We can make a choice between 2 projects, the ASM Genesis brains and the ASM Gen 2 brains. In this case, we are going to choose the ASM Genesis brains. Our next option is Check by Wallet or Check by ID. Now I'm going to choose Check by ID and enter the ID number of the brain I want to check the genome information of. As you can see, we are now presented with the physical form of a Gen 1 brain. When we click on the link that says Distribution, we get to see a graphic that shows us numbered candles that represent the genome distribution of the brain that go from 0 to 9. As the number 9 is the least represented number across all brains, the general assumption is that 9 represents those areas of the brain in which it is strong or talented, and the lower numbered candles represent weaker areas of the brain. In these areas, the brain will be less talented and will need more training to get to a good result. Let us now take a look at the genome map, in which we can see a representation of the brain's genome map in the form of a heat map. Each genome map contains 1,600 little plots. If you look closely, you can see the little square plots. Each of these plots is like a data point that represents an attribute level, or in other words, you could call it a skill or ability level. The highest numbers are represented by bright yellow colors and the lowest numbers are dark blue. So logically, the more bright yellow plots we see in a certain area, the more talented the brain will be in that area. At this moment, it is not known which area of the brains represent what skill area, so we can only select the brains on their weight. Think of it just like our brains. There are areas in which we are more talented than in others. Just like is the case with humans, it is easier to develop your skills to a high level in those parts in which one is naturally talented, and it might take more time and dedication to get skilled in some other areas. This does not mean one can't be successful in those less talented areas, just as it doesn't mean one will be successful in talented areas if one doesn't put an effort in. There are loads of people who never reach their full potential for many reasons, of which simply wasting one's talent is definitely one. Also, a lack of talent in some areas might force a human as well as an ASM brain to be resourceful and find other ways to excel. A well-known example is that people who are dyslexic find ways to adapt in society and often become successful in one way or another. Let's look at a clip from a video by the Altered State Machine that might further clarify some of the things we just talked about.
Altered State Machine is bringing you a first-of-its-kind protocol for non-fungible intelligence. Let your NFTs come to life with artificial intelligence and machine learning. ASM agents have two parts, a form and a brain. Forms are visual representations of the AI. A form could be many things, such as a 2D image, a 3D model,
prepare for total assimilation,
an oral experience, a voice agent,
thank you for calling,
or anything else that serves as a visual depiction of your AI. An agent's form and brain are independently changeable. Both can be separately upgraded, traded, or replaced. ASM brains have two parts, a genome matrix and a memory tree. You could think of the genome matrix as the DNA of the brain, randomly generated and providing the inherent skills and weaknesses the brain is minted with. It's visualized as a heat map where different regions represent different traits. Like DNA, the genome matrix of a brain is permanent. It doesn't change, even with training and experience. The genome matrix is interpreted differently in each environment. For instance, let's look at this region over here, very peaky and lush. In the AFA environment, this region might map to speed. In another environment, one that trades various cryptocurrencies, this same region could map to responsiveness to market changes. And in another environment, maybe a metaverse music experience, this region could map to beats per minute. A memory tree is specific to each new environment, meaning that a brain will develop a new memory tree for each environment it is interacted with. The memory tree holds tactical and learned strategies from training in gyms or from experience, and it saves these changes as unique versions. Let's say your brain is working for you as a chatbot that provides customer service. You may find that your brain was performing better 2 weeks ago. With the memory tree, you can simply restore a version of the brain from that time. The memory tree is equivalent to education, training, and experience. Wondering how the genome matrix and memory tree work together? Here's an analogy. Many consider Michael Jordan to be the best basketball player of all time. His dominance was the result of dedicated training and work ethic, like growing and perfecting his basketball memory tree. His success was likely aided by inherent traits that he was born with, such as height, power, and vertical leap, i.e. a particularly lucky genome matrix for someone who plays basketball. A genome matrix in an ASM brain works the same way. Each brain will have unique traits and base values best suited for particular environments, naturally excelling at certain tasks. The relationship of the genome matrix and memory tree gets a bit more fun in team environments such as AFA. Let's say you mint the Cristiano Ronaldo of AFA. Even Ronaldo can't win FIFA championships all by himself. Team environments on the ASM protocol are the same. Think about brains that inherit traits to make them naturally talented strikers. They're still only 1/4 of a team. Each agent will bring their own complementary skills and experiences to the table, and it's up to you to form, train, and optimize your team. So, will you create the first AFA champions? See you on the pit.
The ASM platform provides any application such as games, metaverses, or financial apps the ability to create AI agents which are owned as an NFT. Each agent is represented by a combination of a brain, which is the core of the agent, memories, which store behavioral strategies the agent has learned by AI model training, and a form, think of a 3D avatar. In addition, the ASM protocol could invite other third-party form projects, such as Cool Cats or Bored Apes, to upgrade their NFT to include an ASM agent. So what does all this mean in simple terms that we can all understand? It means that the non-fungible intelligence being built by Altered State Machine has the potential to turn every NFT, regardless of blockchain, into a playable, earnable, broadcastable asset within the open metaverse when paired with an ASM brain. The Futureverse is building out a massive ecosystem that, if all goes as planned, will contain hundreds of thousands of 3D NFTs that will all be able to use an AI brain, be it a Gen 1 or a Gen 2 brain. All these NFTs play a role one way or another and can act their part in the Futureverse, while you as an owner are fast asleep. As we already know, the Futureverse will run on the root network, a layer 1 blockchain that is EVM compatible, where XRP will be the gas token in this multi-currency ecosystem. The Futureverse will not be a siloed network, but an open metaverse that is aiming for mass adoption by partnering with behemoths in many industries, such as music, entertainment, and sports. To be honest, in my opinion, there is nothing even close being built out there, and the vision of the team is so far ahead of what other companies are building that, in my opinion, they can either hook on or get left behind. 3 massive growth markets that ASM will be aiming at are gaming, which is a $183 billion market, growing at 10%. DeFi is a $53 billion market, growing at over 200%. NFTs are a $6 billion market, growing at over 500%. Altered State Machine exists at the intersection of these powerful growth markets with a unique global patents and demonstrable technology. ASM is poised to be a powerful economic layer for autonomous agents across the worlds of gaming, art, and finance as they converge into a massive new world of metaverses. For those who want to learn more about the Futureverse and the Altered State Machine, I have posted links on the blog of our website, mickeybfresh.com. I would advise to start with the Fluff World Futureverse Complete Guide so you get an overall feeling of what is being built here. We've come to the end of this short video. I wish you all a good day.